Hello, this is the All Around Natural Beauty, and welcome to All Around Natural Beauty RN channel, where I am passionate about helping victims of all ages and all genders overcome the fear of facing the abuse to become survivors. So far, we've been building this community over here under the umbrella of Justice for Shanquella Robinson, a young woman who lost her life back in October 29th. And so far, no arrest, no nothing has been done. We had a video or have a video that's gone viral, and that's what brought us all together. Everyone has seen this video. It's not just here in America. We have people from all over the world who are coming together here for justice for Shanquella Robinson. So we're very grateful that the video was out there, and it gave an opportunity to shine some light on this and make a lot of us aware of how these things have been going on. And since there's no awareness, a lot of these things have just been swept under the carpet. And a few of you guys have actually even admitted to saying that this is going to go cold. It's going to be a cold case, and that there's not going to be any justice, that we'll be bringing this up again and talking about how we didn't get any justice. And it's one of the reasons why I've been making a point to stand for justice for Shanquella and to keep going on with this, because it's been long, October 29th, and I got started becoming aware of this. November 26th was the date that I started, or 23rd rather, start speaking about it, and have been vocal ever since. Been vocal on this ever since. However, it has been a challenge. It's been a challenge because after becoming aware of this, it just started to make me more aware of these problems, because within this, we heard that they were charging the attacker with femicide. So femicide was a new term for me, and I found out later there was a new term for a lot of y'all too. And upon looking up the definition of femicide, it brought some awareness to a very sensitive topic that we still, that we are going through currently here, especially in this state here, this country. And it's a global situation. And there's been a lot of division where there's people that feel one way, and then we have people that feel the complete opposite. And the hope and my prayer is that we can find a way to meet in the common ground here, where we can all be respectful to one another and get some understanding where it's fair, right? That's what we're concerned with here, is fairness. And thank y'all so much for coming out tonight. Hey, Jamie's here. Jamie is saying hello, beautiful RN and fam. Justice for the beautiful Shanquella Robinson. Yes. And we also saw how, there were so many other names. And then even after this thing with Shanquella, there's been, more and more every day. And I was, getting awareness of how this is a really big problem for Black women, right? So I'm a Black woman, and I have a Black daughter, and it was just a lot of things that I feel connected with on this case here. Like I said, for those of you who don't know me, I'm 52 years old and a proud mother of 3 adult children. I have 2 sons and 1 daughter. My daughter's 24. She'll be 25 shortly. And, it was just it hit home for me. It hit home for me just like it did for a lot of you all too. The other thing that, has been kind of a touchy or sensitive topic here is that I'm sure I'm not the only one, that have maybe someone in your family who may identify with, the initials that whole, I don't even know how, the group of people that or going towards this, I feel, identifying type of stuff, right? I'm trying to choose my words, to show respect, because that's not what it's about here. Like I said, I am about, facts, science, and math and all that stuff. However, still want to, show respect, and also to, I want to get understanding. So I don't want to come across as, just it's a battle or a struggle. I want to understand. I want to understand. I want to understand. I want to understand. I really do. And hey, T-Mac. T-Mac says, hello, beautiful RN and queens and kings in the chat. Yes, we have a few kings in here. Hey, Amalu. Amalu says, hi, y'all. Glad to be here. I finally have time to sit and listen. All right, cool. Great, great, great. Yes, I was, am I frozen here? I was really, struggling. I wasn't feeling it again. Not for any type of sad reasons, but because I'm hesitant to approach the conversation that's going to need to be had, only because, I have always wanted to feel like if I had a child who was my child or something like that, that had a forbidden sexuality, that I would be, open enough to want to continue to have a, relationship with my child and not be prejudiced or something like that, or to have some compassion to kind of listen and understand. But I still know that I'm not going to let that change me being a nurse, wanting to reorient the person back to reality about, this is life, and it's not about how you or I feel, right? We still have to stay in reality. And I just want to understand the I don't want to say entitlement, but the entitlement to where the community feels like everyone has to, accept your perception, right? We all have our own minds. And how is it fair for me to expect you to accept what my thoughts are, right? Because we all have different thoughts. We all have different thoughts and different feelings that are personal. Like, you don't have a clue what's in my head. You have no clue. No one does. The only one that knows is me. And the same for you. So the place where I have the problem or the issue is that for this particular group, everyone is expected to understand and accept the feelings and thoughts that they're having in their own, that's their own internal dialogue. So, that's where I'm, offering, for y'all, for anyone who's in that position, to just please help us explain, right? We all want to try to, can we all just get along? All right. So, thank you so much, Emily. Hey, a new name here is Simon L. Simon says, good evening, beautiful RN. Thank you so much for showing up here. What's up, E. Marty? All right, says hello to everyone. Okay, all right. Miss Justice 11111. All right, got some angel numbers up there. Thank you so much, and good evening to you as well. All right. What's up, Linda Best? Linda Best is also greeting the people here. Hey, Ebony, I ain't seen you in a little minute there. Welcome back, Ebony. Nice to see you. And JP6 is giving some greetings also. Why are humans like this? Says, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. All right, so tonight's show is the Suthi Lucy that we were supposed to watch yesterday. I did have the wrong video. So this one here is going to be about the 911 call. Amalou says the elephant in the room. Thank you. I mean, Thank you. It is the elephant in the room. It's the elephant in the room, and I really didn't. I don't want to. I don't want to. But it's like every time I try, I come and I try my best not to even touch this topic. But then, they're in the comments, right? And I have people leaving the comments or saying what they saw, right? So I'm not trying to convince anybody to, I'm just explaining, the thing, how it is and stuff. Thank you so much. Just the elephant in the room. Yes. And see, I still can't even say the word. All right. Hey, Lena, what's going on? All right. Chinyeri Egg says, good evening, Miss RN. Good evening. Thank y'all. Yeah, I'm, not happy to talk about it and stuff too, because like I said, I've got family and stuff like that, and I'm not trying to hurt. I love my family and stuff like that. So, and like I said before, I've the last so many years just always trying to keep an open mind, because I don't want to be, I wouldn't want to be one of those, parents or or a family member that excommunicate to a loved one because they have a so-called forbidden sexuality or something like that. So yeah. All right, Lena says trans women want Aretha Franklin sung Natural Woman removed. What? Now see, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully this is a joke and you're just being funny here. Lena, all right. Chinyere, egg you. Thank you. I love you. Thank you so much for helping me. Saw the worry in my face, like, oh, already told me what it was. You're blowing it again already. Thank you, Chinyere. All right. Why are humans like this? Says, I heard Lena so crazy. Okay, so that's the joke then. Great. All right. So Marie says blessings, all hand pink. Wait, okay, that's emoji. Thank you. All right, thank you. Yeah, they need to get over it. I know. So, and even men are saying that they have a struggle too, because they have to, it's I don't know how to approach it. Like, what do we say? Because it's not only them, but some other people are, upset that people are offended. And I got a video too from an old, when this thing first happened, when people were saying that the attacker was transgender. Then all of a sudden they changed it up and took that away. But back in November, when this thing first came out, everybody was, announcing that the attacker was transgender. And then all of a sudden they wanted to, they went mute on that and changed it up, and then started saying, oh no, that's a woman. Like, they kept pushing that out there. And my thing is this, that community was so vocal about wanting to be accepted, but then all of a sudden when we say, hey, look, there's one over there, and now it's like, nobody wants to admit that this, these people exist, right? And so I started asking myself, why is it such a big deal to keep it silent? Like, why are we protecting, the identity? Why? All right. Sierra says, hope I'm not late. No, you're just getting in here, and I'm, walking on eggshells, because I, trying to choose my words, cautiously, because, I don't know. I'm trying not to hurt his feelings or anything like that. But like I said before, it's nothing personal. And I actually do want to understand, like, why is it so upsetting to the community, the trans community, that people are saying that looks like a man. It looks like a man. Why is it so upsetting that people are seeing what they see with their eyes, right? Because the people that are saying this, nobody told them to say that. Nobody said, hey, go over there and leave a comment saying that looked like a man with full strength. And no one said that. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. And I went back, like I said, I've been clipping these videos, my lives back from November and December, and these comments were coming up then. People were saying that, right? And then we saw that they charged the attacker with femicide. We get the definition of femicide, and then the people want to come up here and say that that's not what that means. Then we give them the Mexican definition of femicide, and they say, but she's had a baby, right? It's like they keep throwing out all these mystery stuff, but with no proof, right? They don't have anything to dispute the video that we've seen where we see an XY chromosome moving and doing, this stuff in there, doing the stuff, committing this act. Yeah, so thank you so much here for coming here. Chinny Ray says, LOL, I heard that, Lena, that's ridiculous. Oh, you heard it too? Wow. No, it's not. Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that. JP6 says, I'm tired of trans trying to be bullied when they preach about acceptance. Yes, the only want acceptance for themselves, and they hate any pushback. Yeah. And I hate to pull the black card out there, but it's like, I mean, like, I honestly don't get how this is even possible. Like, what? And bully is the correct word too. And it's like, why should you get special treatment? Like no one else has been, so protected, right? So then I started thinking like, why? Why did everybody go hush hush and then start making excuses for why, oh, well, they saw her take the wig on and off, and that's why they, thought that she was a man. Because remember, they had reported this. So then they come back with all these lies to, null and void the truth that was already stated. And Sierra says, hello, everyone. How are you? I'm good. I'm really good. Like I said, I'm trying to edge and kind of ease in this conversation here. Lena says, RN, it's not a joke. Look it up. What? Oh, man. Wow. And see, I have no time for their delusions. Exactly. So my thing was this, a lot of people were saying that, they don't think they're going to get any justice because these kind of things happen. And then by it being a femicide, which is really domestic violence on any of these types, when there's any type of XY aggression towards an XX, these people get, a slap on the wrist or nothing at all, right? Or they get off easy, right? They get off easy. They don't spend as much time. They don't take these crimes against women serious. And a lot of times they'll, they won't even be arrested. And then people stop talking about it. Like they'll put a little story off on the, a little news or something like that. And if people don't continue to speak up and say what's going on, then the people, these males, don't even get prosecuted. We were talking about how Mexico have a problem. We have a big problem here. Call it domestic violence, and they're not doing anything. They're, I was showing videos a few days ago how, 2 women unalived by these ex-boyfriends, and so by these males, and they one of them was bailed out of jail after stabbing, in the same way with the Darrell Brooks. He had hit the lady with a car and battered her up and got bailed out, right? The one guy stabbed, that's attempted murder. Got bailed out and then goes, and now the people, people gone. Shay says, good evening to all the beautiful people in the chat and the beautiful RN hostess. Thank you so much. And shout out to all the nurses who have been coming over here supporting. I really appreciate when y'all back me up on how, this fake medical stuff that they try to feed the people is fake, right? And that's not how it goes on in the real medical world. Miss Justice 1111 says, it is a fact, then what is the problem? Thank you. What I was thinking the problem is that, I started seeing more and more clues, right? That there's a community of what they call DL men, down low men. And that's the ones that secretly, engage with, they engage with them. And that kind of makes more sense to why they would want to protect or keep that silent too, because now it's going to be uncovering that, there's a good amount of them that participate in, that engage in the activity with, the T people. And, and that's why they don't think that it's a big deal, like it shouldn't matter, and it's not just one or two people. It's a lot of people that say that, what difference does it make? It shouldn't matter the gender, and, are upset or disappointed with me because I'm giving a voice to the people who do believe that it does matter, right? Okay, thank you, Jessica. Hello to the people in chat that came in. Thank y'all so much for showing up here. Mary says, good evening, y'all. Thank y'all for all you do. All right, appreciate you there. All right, hey, Gloria says justice is coming. Yes, I'm feeling pretty confident about it too. I don't know. Then I have my moments when I feel the doubt because one of the videos that I was looking over today from way back in November when they said that, remember, it was like, oh, Dejanay's caught, right? Remember they was talking about she was caught and arrested, right? Or detained, right? We was always, yeah, they got, right? And then we find out, the next month that, still working, right? So it's like, I don't know if anything is, we have to just wait, I guess, to say, but keep the voice happening, because we see if we did, like, what if we had stopped talking about it, 2 months ago when they said that, everybody was detained, not everybody, but one person was detained and stuff like that, right? Then we find out later that was just a bologna sandwich. JP6 says, as a Black man, I have no time for this intersectionality. This is a tool to distract from the real problems. Yeah, I agree with you. Mary says, one of the creators show Malik's records, drug or arsers in Mercedes with weed and brown substance in connection. He also had bad rags. Yeah. And then too, nowadays, people are open. It's open community, and they got these names, for fluid. I mean, there's a whole big, community with vocabulary and all kind of things where, people are, rope bunnies and or SM beta mess and just there's these initials of these groups of people, and it's a whole big world out there where, and then, so, like I said, I'm 52 years old, for those you don't know, and I have over 30 years of nursing experience, and I'm a proud Gen Xer, to where, like, we had this kind of stuff. RuPaul was there, then, we had we called them trans for the transvestite. So I'm like, anyway, there was the trans people have always been here. It's not like it's a new something, but I think maybe the awareness or all these extra roles and stuff like that, like gender neutral or fluid, or just things, a rope bunny, and people. There's people out there that want to be a pet, or just there's things and stuff like that, which do you, but you can't expect other people who's not in your head, don't have an idea of what your thoughts are, because everyone's thoughts are personal. My thoughts are personal. I'm not trying to impose or make you responsible for knowing, what my thoughts are, right? Right? Y'all help me out here. Help me out. 1 + 1 is always gonna be 2, no matter what people say. Gen X, that's right. Yes. Thank you so much. Woo, that's right. Let's see. Gloria says, "Yep, it's scary out here." It is. It really is, because if someone's walking around, believing that there's something that they're not, you still have. I mean, like the one time when I did show the transgender people, and I made a few shorts off of it, but that was just the first little day to go online and just type up trans anger, and there was like a whole big row of videos showing the trans people upset and angry over somebody spotted them and identified them, right? Like I said, you can't change your skeletal structure, right? So the skeleton is your frame, so you're gonna always have that XX frame or XY frame. That's just how it is. So if people see you, our brains are trained to know what an XY looks like and what an XX looks like. So if someone says sir to someone who is obviously an XX, why should that person be punished or silenced or written up, or some type of negative result happen because they like I said before, I don't really I don't watch TV. I don't keep up with the news and all that stuff. So what about the baby boomers, right? You think all of them know about all this stuff here, or that you're supposed to call, this XY who's obviously an XY ma'am, right? How are we supposed to know this stuff? All right. The Me Watch. All right. We must live in truth. Thank you and welcome, the Me Watch. I appreciate you and your comment. All right. Justice, just giving my 5 cents. Yes. We appreciate your 5 cents too. Hey, y'all. What's up, Kyrania? All right. Let's see. JP6. What's up with you, Rania? All right. Gloria. Okay. So for Team Rainbow, like I said, we all happy for everybody, right? But we still need to make sure, Team Rainbow, y'all good. We ain't nobody trying to, shame or do any of those kind of things to anybody, right? It's all love and all that stuff too. But where's our love, right? Where's our love, right? It's not my fault that I'm accepting the fact that I'm an XX chromosome. I accept that. I accept it, right? I really wish I could have been, with a stronger skeleton and able to be faster and stronger and all that stuff. Yeah, I would have enjoyed that. But unfortunately, I have to accept, the existence that I'm in here. Sierra says, I don't care what they are talking about. They all need to be arrested and stop trying to talk their way out of charging them. Exactly. See, Gloria says they all need to be accountable. I agree. And that's why I was hoping, that we get something done here, because I heard another content creator, I think it was Unbiased Unbossed, where the one guy who had unalived his wife out there in Mexico, and then, finally, so many years later, got extradited over there. He only served 7 years. Now we know over here in this country, Black people, we get long sentences. I think they're gonna get a longer time over here. I don't know, but then since it's violence against a woman, there was another show I had saw earlier today where this one guy, he was in prison for unaliving his first wife, right? And then a pastor helped get him out. He served, I think they said 16 years for unaliving the first wife. And the pastor, which was the father of his future wife that he unalived, wrote a letter and, vouched for him to get him out. And then he would commit this act on his own daughter, right? So we see how the men kind of, they take up for each other. They protect, they overlook it when one of them exhibits violence towards a woman. So that's where, I feel like we, need to lift our voices, and we need more men to support, for the protection of women, right? Thank you, JP6. JP6 says, I want them all behind bars. I agree with you. Yes. FBI ain't no joke. Yep. And we know that on November 17th, the FBI got involved on the case. So we should be, something's going to be going on. I can't see how this could actually get swept under the carpet, because this is a big pile of trash here. This is a big one. This is a big one. All right. So I appreciate y'all for coming out. We're going to go ahead and get started with our acts of faith, and we'll watch our first video. So Acts of Faith, our book by Iyanla Vanzant. It's copywritten back in 1992, and it is a daily meditation for people of color by Iyanla Vanzant. Some of y'all might know her from TV, but in the 90s, she was really pumping out a lot of books to help you. And she was a Yoruba priestess, a cultural custodian, and a spiritual life counselor. And this book is very powerful. It's helped me out a lot. And I've had a lot of you guys to say, that you've ordered it, or that you had it back 20 years ago and all that good stuff. So it's very good. And we've been reading it when we come together. And today is January the 23rd. So we'll start with January 23rd. And it says, ask and it shall be given to you. And that's Matthew 7. All right. So we're asking for justice. Justice, justice, justice. Everybody's asking for justice. So according to the word of God is supposed to ask and it shall be given to you. So we're asking for justice. Ask and it shall be given to you. And then Iyanla says, we all get to the point where we feel confused and indecisive. We can't seem to figure out what we want or what to do. We want everything, but nothing brings satisfaction. Our spirit is restless because the mind is racing. It may not be that we don't know. It is probably that we are afraid to ask. We may feel as if we are running to something, but actually we are running away. In those times, we need to sit down, get still, and evaluate just what it is we want. We must do this quietly, honestly, and often if necessary. We are human beings blessed with the power of reason. We have it at all times, the right and the power to figure out what we want. Once that's done, we must have the courage to ask for it. If we let the color of our skin, the gender we express, or the way of the world limit us, we will forever be denied. We owe it to ourselves to choose a way and ask for it. Once we ask, we can rest. Today, I plan to choose and ask with an open mind. Wow. Good word there. All right. Thank y'all for listening. Let me see here. The new names coming up in here into the chat. Hey, Beverly. All right, Beverly says hello to everyone. All right, we got a little Jessica in the house too. All right, yes. All right, so our first video is going to be this little 911 call. Oh, it's more new names. Hey, Shirley, welcome back. Shirley says hello all around Natural Beauty RN and chat. Some people don't want to accept the fact, but it is what it is. Thank you. All right, Beverly said, oh my goodness, we talking about trans. I don't care what they want, but they are not pushing their ideology on me. I'm not going to be confused because you want me to be confused. Yeah. Thank you. All right, Sierra says, Rainbow, all of the Rainbow crew are bullies. Once something bad happens, they want to fight and are just angry for nothing. Yeah. And we saw that with the one little clip that I showed of the the T person in the GameStop in there. I mean, just terrorizing the people in there. And I was like, wait a minute. Now, if that had just been, then I see a video of a police officer punching a black woman in the face because she wanted her money back out of McDonald's for some cold fries or something like that. But this, person was allowed to kick this, throw a tantrum in there and get, rageful, and nothing happened. They got the guy behind the cash register. I'll get you that number right away, man. And, all worried and scared. He snapped on the people that was in the store. I mean, it was horrible. Let me see here. Gloria said, all this ABC is confused. Yes. I'm sitting over here stumbling over my tongue because I don't know what to say. That's why I say X, Y, and XX, because no one can dispute that. Can't dispute that. Science. So here we go. Let me see. Let me get our first video up. And our first video. The first video. Oh, I think that was on the email. All right. So let me go on over here. And the first video is going to be from Lucy. And that one's from Highly Favored. It's the one who shared this one here. This was yesterday, but I had the wrong one. Okay, so this one is from our girl Lucy, and this is the 911 call. All right, so anyway, I got some new speakers for you guys today. Mine went out. That's why I was kind of hesitant. I didn't feel like coming up here. I had to run to Best Buy to get some new speakers. Here we go. All right, let's see how this sounds for you.
Daniel De La Rosa Anaya, Attorney General for Baja California Sur, spoke out in an interview on Tuesday. This is his second interview regarding the Shanquella Robinson case in the past few days. He first appeared and discussed the case during a press conference alongside the governor of Los Cabos, Victor Castro Jocio. And on Tuesday, he did an interview for the American People with the Mexican journalist. Both occurrences included an update replete with a fair amount of finger pointing. And with each appearance, Mexico's stance on the case is becoming crystal clear. The responsibility for the crime lies squarely on the shoulders of the Cabo Six, and no one in Mexico will be held accountable for their part in the cover-up. Even with this revelation, I was struck by something that was laid out during the interview. After the Attorney General answered the questions in legalese, the reporter circled back to put emphasis on key points he wanted us to take away from the interview, one that didn't quite sit right with me, and we must talk about. We're going to get into it. We're going to get into the breaking news, exclusive new revelation the reporter made about Winter Donovan's call. But first, be sure to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on updates to this story, trending topics, and so much more. Now let's get into it. Until 2 weeks ago, we had the video, the police report, and Nazir's Instagram Live as our main points of view into what happened to Shanquella on the day she was murdered. We all know that the police report is full of misinformation. It makes a sad attempt to convince you that the doctor was fighting for Shanquella's survival until 5:57 p.m. when she...
Just real quick. Hey, Denise V. Denise V said, hello, everyone in the chat. I don't know what attacked Shanquella, But if it was a man pretending to be a girl, he is more dangerous. But who or whatever it was unalived this girl. I agree with you. And that's what I'm saying. That's the part, because it's like, if you could just be wearing a disguise, and then all of a sudden when we see that they have issues with rage, or they have, problems with when they get upset, they coming at you aggressively, right? And you're full of testosterone and you're aggressive and angry, that's intimidation.
She declared Shanquella deceased. You remember, it looked like the doctor leapt into life-saving measures at 4:20 p.m. after she had been there an hour already. But 2 weeks ago, a bit of new information surfaced, and that was the 911 report that was shared with us. And because many of us were expecting to hear Winter's voice and the actual 911 call recording, we were frustrated and passed it off as propaganda, just more of the same misinformation we had already heard from the police report. After reviewing the report closely, it's true. A lot of the information in the 911 report comes directly from the police report, but there's a critical piece of information, a nuance.
And remember last night when, we was watching the one video, the guy was just reading and talking about the police report. That's fake, y'all. So we don't need to be worried about that. It's fake, right? If the police report is a lie, everything that comes after that is a lie too. So we just listen to this to pick out the bones, but I appreciate it.
I'm afraid we missed. We'll get into it, but let's first fast forward to last Tuesday's interview the Mexican reporter did with Daniel de la Rosa Anaya. During the interview with the Attorney General, this point was emphasized. The people there with Shanquella reported an accidental death to the emergency numbers. Let me repeat that. The people there with Shanquella reported an accidental death to the emergency numbers.
Now, how did they report a death if they were asking for help? Now, see, they changing the story again, right? First, they said they called for the non-emergency, right? So now all of a sudden they're reporting the death. Make up your mind.
Numbers. Now, this is different from how we perceived it originally. This says to me that when Winter called 911, she called to report the accidental death of Shanquella. In other words, this means Shanquella was either already deceased when Winter called 911, or she died during the process of the call. Now, many of us have already concluded that Shanquella passed away.
Okay, so there's no way that someone's, who pronounced, right? How did she know that she was expired if they were over there working on her? These are lies, y'all.
Around 7:25 a.m. from the assault video, the shoddy police report, and personal accounts from Nazir and the maid. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out part 3 of this video series, Death Blow. And if my sleuthy senses are correct, this is the first time the Attorney General is publicly confirming what we have all concluded, that Shanquella was dead when they called 911. Now, I may be wrong, but based on some of my findings, I'm inclined to believe that you meant it exactly as you said it, sir. Because after all, your title does say breaking news, exclusive new revelations. And to my understanding, everything else, excluding this point, was confirmation of what we already knew. Am I correct? Now, I know things are lost in translation. I completely understand that. And we also have the saying here in the US, don't shoot the messenger, which means don't get angry at or punish the person who is simply delivering the bad news because he's not responsible for it. So that we are clear, it's not my intent to shoot the messenger. I simply want clarity in this matter. So would you be so kind as to clarify or confirm this statement so that we all understand it the same? I have already seen videos from creators questioning this statement, and some have even gone so far as to state what they think you meant. I don't want to do that, sir. I don't want to assume what you meant. I want to know what you meant so that we don't create any additional misinformation or misunderstandings in this case. Let's take a listen to the statement in question.
Que las personas que estaban con Shanquella Robinson reportaron a los números de emergencia una muerte accidental.
That the people who were with Shanquella reported an accidental death to the emergency numbers.
Okay.
This point was...
Now, he didn't say that in the first interview, right? That's why I'm saying so grateful that we got the videos, right? There's a video he did interviews with at least 3 content creators. There's one with him and Tessa Tales. There's one in him with Gerald. There's one in him with the lead attorney. And so there's more, right? Because I remember somebody, I think a Rabbit Hole or somebody else did interview with him back in November. So how are you now reporting on new, different information, right? Different information.
Stated many times in this way, both by you and your guest, the Attorney General. Are you saying, sir, that when Winter Donovan called 911, she stated that Shanquella was already dead? If this is true, you do realize that this makes the doctor and Mexico look worse than before. It reveals more of her incompetence and Mexico's willingness to support it. Hear me out. The police report says Shanquella had a seizure at 4:20 p.m. You can see it here. At 4:20 p.m., she presented with a generalized tonic-clonic seizure.
And again, the police legally, especially over here, cannot document a seizure. That's medical. This information would not be part of the police report. The police aren't medical professionals. To say a seizure would require a diagnosis. The police would not report this. They're trying to feed us these new lies, thinking it's going to make us believe what they want us to believe. But y'all already told so many lies. And 2, we got the truth. We have the truth.
Lasting less than a minute with sphincter relaxation, to which her friend named Winter Donovan proceeds to dial 911 to request an ambulance. According to this statement from the police report, Winter should have made the 911 call somewhere around 4:21 p.m., right? The seizure was at 4:20 p.m. It was less than a minute. So the call should have been placed during the seizure or immediately following. Let's look at what happened next. It says here, in the process, patient has difficulty breathing, decreased pulse, and is given rescue breaths. You see it here. In the process says to me that during and immediately following the seizure, Shanquella had difficulty breathing. I've placed the definition of in the process here so you can see it for yourself. And because of the breathing difficulties Shanquella exhibited, the doctor started rescue breaths. Okay, that means rescue breaths should have started somewhere around 4:22 p.m. or 4:23 p.m., immediately following the seizure, correct? And Winter should have been on that phone with 911 by then as well. Sound reasonable so far? So why is it in the not?
And y'all, nowadays with CPR, if you're doing CPR in the field, you are not doing rescue breaths. We only do compressions only, right? There's no more mouth to mouth. You don't do that. So there's no way that they were doing some rescue breathing. And 2, y'all, the death certificate states that Shanquella expired from severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation with a life expectancy after receiving that injury of 15 minutes. So we already know, and even Lucy knows, she told us yesterday that she mastered the times, right? So we got the time of death at 7:25 a.m. So why are we talking about at 4:21 she was getting mouth to mouth? Kyrania says, I wonder if her gender being in question is why she hasn't been arrested. If Mexico put a male on the warrant and U.S. has Dejanay documented as a female, that could be an issue. Documents have to be accurate. Wow. Wow. Don't want her getting off on the technicality. Yeah. Yeah, I saw someone else, I think it might have been you that said that, it'll be a manslaughter. I say it's not a manslaughter. It's premeditated murder because it was planned. We saw the moves. Those were attack moves. attack move specifically done to unalive a person. Within seconds.
911 report that was shared with us a couple of weeks ago, does it say that Winter called 911 at 4:37 p.m.? Let's take a listen.
La información que logramos obtener es la llamada de auxilio al 911. Entró a las 4:37 de la tarde del 29 de octubre del 2022.
The information we obtained is that the 911 call was made at 4:37 p.m. on the afternoon of October 29th, 2022.
I also confirmed this with the 911 report itself. Here, you can see it here. Recibo in Spanish means I receive. We have it here in the report. Recibo 163602. This time converts to 4:36 p.m. from the military time shown on the report. You can see the 911 call center received the call at 4:36 p.m. The time between 4:37 p.m. and 4:22 p.m. is 15 minutes. That means 15 additional minutes goes by before Winter made the 911 call. This is according to the official documents coming out of Mexico, the police report and the 911 report. So you mean to tell me that someone was rendering rescue breaths for 15 minutes
No.
before someone decides to make a call to 911? Really? Who rendered those breaths, Attorney General? Nazir claimed he rendered rescue breaths.
What?
Did he help during this time?
I didn't hear that.
It's not
He
lost
gave
on
him
me
off the
that
mouth.
we are solely talking about rescue
Holy smokes. Okay, I must have missed that part.
breaths at this time, not CPR compressions. If Nazir rendered those breaths, what was Dr. Carolina doing from 4:22 to 4:37 p.m. while rescue breaths were given? Did Dr. Carolina's medical training ever teach her to call 911 if she encounters someone who is unresponsive and not breathing? Healthline says call 911 immediately. It also says if you are in a group, ask someone to call 911.
You call 911. You get the AED and you start doing the work. You're calling 911 because you don't want to be there by yourself trying to do CPR on the person. Within 3 minutes, you're going to be finished. You're going to be done. You're going to be exhausted.
This information is known to civilians. Even children know to do this.
Thank
so
you.
why wouldn't a professional know to do this around 4:21
Because
p.m.?
the professional was not there. There was no doctor there. They lied on the doctor.
Every second counts in these situations, right? Even if she were alone, best practices are to administer 5 cycles and then call 911. See it here. If she had done just this, the call would have been somewhere around 4:23 p.m. But Dr. Carolina wasn't alone, was she?
Dr. Catalina was not there. You just told us yesterday that she would have expired at 7:25 a.m. Do y'all see how this doesn't even make any sense? This is just a distraction, right? Because all this stuff is fake. None of this stuff happened. Shanquella was gone hours ago. Geraldo had already told us in an interview that the maid found Shanquella around noon already hard, already stiff, right? So how now, see, noon, 1, 2, 3, 4, how 4 hours later is she now having some difficulty breathing? Why are we even questioning a 911 call? If the maid found her at noon, y'all already told us the maid found her body, that they had abandoned the body. So if it's a body at noon, how is it a person struggling, having a seizure at 4:30? How?
She didn't have to do it herself. She had 6 others in the room with her. In fact, with something so alarming as someone gasping to breathe and having a seizure, a rational person would expect more than one person to call 911. So I ask you, did Dr. Carolina ever have professional command of the room? She was the professional in this situation, right? Don't you think that by this time, a trained professional would have fully understood that she needed to call 911 immediately? So why did it take 15 minutes to dial 3 numbers? Based on this information alone, it's not unreasonable to believe that Shanquella was already deceased when Winter called 911. According to the police report and this new revelation,
You told us yesterday that she was deceased at 7:25 a.m.
Shanquella struggled to breathe for 15 minutes before someone took it upon themselves to even pick up the phone and call for emergency help. Attorney General, I ask you, who's accountable for this lapse?
I agree. Kyrania said it's not fair to say the whole LGBTQ community is angry. That's true. It's not. I know many who are not. There are bad people, period. That's what I'm trying to get them to see, that just because you're transgender doesn't mean that all of a sudden that you are perfect. How come we can't say that there's some wicked transgender people? There's some wicked, what you call it? I don't want to say normal, but there's wickedness in everybody. Every community, every population is going to have some people that's wicked. There's going to be some really good LGBTQ people. I'm saying that just when one of y'all step out of line, y'all need to, if one of us step out of line, we all about getting them too. It shouldn't be no double standard. Being trans doesn't make you special.
In time, is it the Cabo 6 or Dr. Carolina?
It's here. There are bad people, period, regardless of what community they belong to. That's like saying all Black people are violent. Exactly. I totally agree with you. And I'm definitely not saying that all the TP or all the community of people here are bad or angry, right? I'm just saying that the T people, especially the XY chromosomes, have a potential to have their anger heightened because of the testosterone being out of whack. And it's their natural instinct by just being an XY to have, the testosterone and the, that energy to be competitive and all that, aggression, right? As a normal something. And then they're counting on a person, these doctors, to prescribe the correct dose when, something that your brain does by monitoring everything. They're placing the trust in, a person, right? Who, that didn't create the body. Anyway, so let me just get on back over here. But thank you, Kyrene. I really appreciate that statement.
Now, what else happened? Dr. Carolina states on the police report that she began CPR maneuvers with the help of one of the Cabo 6 at 4:49 p.m. because she stopped feeling a pulse. You can see it here. At 4:49, the general practitioner mentions she stopped feeling a pulse and begins the CPR maneuvers with the help of one of her friends until the ambulance arrived. And
at 4:49, the general practitioner mentioned she stopped feeling a pulse and began CPR maneuvers with the help of one of her friends until the ambulance arrived and continued with the CPR session for a total of 14 CPR sessions. What does that mean? Like, this is, I'm a nurse, a registered nurse. This makes no sense to me. What do you mean the 14 CPR sessions? 5 doses of adrenaline and 6 AED discharges without success. Okay, so, all right. So the 14 CPR sessions, I don't know what that means. That doesn't make any sense. 14 CPR sessions. When we're doing CPR, it's no sessions. It's called one. It's the whole time we doing it. Even if we code in the person for 20 minutes, it's no 14 CPR sessions. Like, that's not even, that makes no sense. 5 doses of adrenaline. I'm assuming that they're meaning epinephrine. Okay, so they didn't have an ID access. So this is a lie. There's no way. First, 14 CPR sessions, that don't even make sense. This is something silly. It's not a medical term. It makes no sense. 5 doses of adrenaline. How did you give the doses of adrenaline when you didn't have IV access? You need IV access. And my nurses out there, y'all know, for colds, more than epi is used, right? So there need to be other drugs following behind there. There's some saline that needs to be pushed, and 6 AED discharges. You're only going to be allowed to shock. The machine's not going to give you a shock if you don't have a shockable rhythm. It says up here that she didn't feel a pulse. You can't shock a flat line. Asystole. These are lies, right? They're lies. We could stop right here at 4:49, because if Lucy the maid found her at noon, already deceased, found the body, Lucy said she found the body at noon. So if Lucy found the body at noon, how can the general practitioner mentions she stopped feeling the pulse, right? Why are the police documenting this stuff here? This is nothing you would find in the police report. The police aren't going to document the medical care that was rendered. It's not even in their scope. Why? That's why you can see they got these stupid words out here. CPR session, a total of 14 CPR sessions. What? 5 doses of adrenaline. Yeah, that sounds about right. Right? All fake. We can stop right here at the 4:49, because if she was already a body at noon, how almost 5 hours later are we just now, talking about stop feeling the pulse, right? So we can say all these lies.
And continued with the CPR sessions for a total of 14 CPR sessions. This statement is also confirmed on the 911 report when translated. So in other words, Dr. Carolina started CPR maneuvers at 4:49 p.m. and continued them until the paramedics arrived to assist her. And between the doctor and
then remember, the pictures that they showed us was the doctor with 2 Red Cross workers, remember? And this information comes from the same person. So he's giving us all these different stories. And then they're just showing us these clips of CPR classes, right? Now, how they didn't notice the broken neck and the injured back, right? Doing the CPR. This AED, remember when she had on all the clothes, right? See how the mannequin chest is bare? When we do CPR, if you're coming into the emergency room, we got scissors. This is getting cut off. No one's getting care with clothes on. You go into the hospital, y'all know the rules. Your clothes are coming off. There's no modesty happening here. We're taking the clothes off. We need to see what's going on. So when they did all that work trying to stage these pictures of Shanquella with some cheap, dingy-looking peak swap meet shorts on and that tacky black T-shirt, Shanquella was a classy lady, and she was balling. She wasn't going to be wearing those cheap clothes. But they were trying so hard to convince us that they moved and dressed the body, that they weren't thinking that they didn't even have to put the clothes on, because if they were going to try to pretend that she got all this care, the clothes would have been off anyway. But because they weren't real medical people, they didn't know that. They didn't know that it was supposed to be, they should have had this in the picture, right? If they'd have had, this should have been in the picture with the Red Cross people. They should have had this there and a naked top Shanquella, but they didn't know that. They thought that y'all was going to believe it because they had the people looking surprised and the doctor kneeling down with her hand on the chest. Like that was supposed to convince people. But they're not recognizing that it's a bunch of nurses out here. I ain't the only one. Doctors and all that, first responders, all that stuff can look at that and tell y'all that's fake.
And the paramedics, a total of 14 cycles of CPR were administered. This is absolutely absurd. Here's why. Let's do some simple math. According to firstaidforfree.com, it takes 2 minutes to perform 5 cycles of CPR with compressions. You can see it here. So I'm going to be generous and round up the 14 cycles the doctor reported to 15 cycles. In order to get to the 15 cycles, we have to complete 3 sets of 5 cycles. 3 times 5 cycles equals 15 cycles, right? So now we know it takes 2 minutes for every 5 cycles, and we need 3 sets of 5 cycles to account for the 14 cycles they performed. Okay, 2 minutes times 3 sets equals 6 minutes. It takes 6 minutes to complete 15 cycles of CPR. Now, 4:49 p.m. plus 6 minutes is 4:55 p.m. So if the doctor did 14 rounds of CPR starting at 4:49 p.m., she would have completed them by 4:55 p.m. In the 911 report, the ambulance reports their arrival time to be 5:19 p.m. You can see it.
Woo! That's a lot of CPR, right? And look, y'all, nobody's counting. Nobody's counting. We just doing the thing, and you squeeze in the ambu bag. You're doing the CPR. Nobody's saying like, okay, well, we already did 2 rounds. Nobody's doing that. Somebody's checking the time. We just working. Nobody is saying that, okay, we've already done 14. Nobody's keeping track with how long you've been going. How many rounds? Okay, we did 14. Let's just call it. That's not how it goes.
Here, the verb llegar in Spanish means to arrive, and the LLEG that we see here is an abbreviation of llegar. And you can see it here. The time the ambulance arrived is 17:19, which is the same as 5:19 p.m. It took the ambulance 30 minutes to arrive to the villa. Wow. And if Dr. Carolina started CPR at 4:49 p.m., she would have had to do 75 cycles of CPR while waiting for the paramedics to get there. Here's how we know. 30 minutes divided by 2 minutes for every 5 cycles gives us 15 sets. Okay, 15 times 5 cycles for each set gives us 75 cycles. In order for Dr. Carolina to pass the baton,
nobody keeps up with how many cycles you did. Nobody keeps up with that. Nobody keeps up with that.
on to the paramedics. Without any disruption in delivery of CPR, they had to be there. They didn't arrive until 5:19 p.m. And so the number of cycles
they would have been exhausted. No one could do that for no 30 minutes. Even if we switch in, now you do compressions, I'm doing an ambu bag. That's exhausting. After 2 minutes, you need to switch out because you're not going to be compressing the chest enough because you're too tired. And now we done switched up a few times. Okay, it was supposed to be 3 of them there. We done switched up, or even counting the Cabo 6. It's no, lies.
She would have had to complete from 4:49 p.m. to 5:19 p.m. while waiting for their arrival would have been 75 cycles of CPR. Now, I'm told by many medical professionals that CPR is very taxing and that even 14 cycles is a lot for one person to administer. So how did Dr. Carolina start CPR at 4:49 p.m. and hand off to the paramedics and only complete 14 CPR cycles among them? Impossible. And that clearly explains this picture to me now. Dr. Carolina was doing nothing in this picture.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the AED, right? This person got a backpack on and gloves already on, right? If this is supposed to be your medical bag here, why is it over your shoulder? And why do you have these gloves on already? Where'd you get the gloves from, right? Oh, you just arrived with them already on, right? And the doctor, these people wouldn't be up here. This couch would be pushed out of the way. The shirt would be up. Where is your stethoscope? Where is your medical equipment? Where's the supplies? Where's the adrenaline? Where's your IV start kit? Where's your stuff? This is fake. These aren't even real medical people because they're not even in the right posture. This ain't a doctor's position. The doctor would not lower themselves to be doing no CPR. When they got there and see a person that's unresponsive, I'm calling 911, and they're telling someone else to get started with this kind of stuff. Doctors aren't at the foot down here while these people are sitting up here kneeling, looking ridiculous. This ain't how a nurse or a first responder is gonna. That's not the right posture. This person clearly looks like they don't know what the hell they're doing or what the hell they are supposed to do. Fake, fake, fake. Bad actors. They should have done a little bit more research on their roles.
When they arrived, her hands were down, her head is down. She's not in an emergency posture. There is no evidence of CPR in that tight space. Where is the friend who was helping her? Shanquella's shirt is neat.
Yeah, because one story they said they told him to wait outside. Right? So how you outside, but now you in here doing CPR?
Pulled down, and the paramedics walked in to see an infarcted person, as indicated on line 10 of the 911 report. You can see it here. Is this saying she had already succumbed to cardiac arrest by this time? So I ask you, who's accountable for the nonsensical medical assessments and narratives, the lapses in time, lapses in judgment, egregious misstatements of fact, and failure to provide a level of medical care as one would expect from a paramedic, a nurse, and yes, even a doctor with similar education and experience? Is this the fault of the Cabo 6 or Dr. Carolina? And by the way, sir, is this really a 911 call center report, or is it an ambulance's incident report? I ask because I see here that a great deal of data from the police report was entered the next day, October 30th, 2022 at 1:52 a.m. when the ambulance was completing transport of the body. This is not as it happened. In other words, it's not a live transcript of what was happening in real time. I would expect a 911 report to have real-time timestamps. Also, where are lines 11 through 30? They are missing from the report. Why? I would not only expect a 911 call report to have real-time timestamps, but I would also expect the calls in time to be prominently displayed, but I don't see it here. And before I end our conversation, I have one more question for Mr. Attorney General. If it were your daughter laying there with a dislocated neck, unable to move or speak, but could hear and see everything that was happening to her as she labored to take her final breaths, and Dr. Carolina showed up to render the level of care depicted in this case, would we find you protecting her?
All right, it was fun. Yeah, that's, you see why I don't even like to even participate in this kind of stuff. It's just wrong in so many ways. All right, so there we go with that. And like I said, we could have stopped at the very beginning with all of that stuff because just yesterday, you know, we was solid on our what is this here? We were solid on our time of death, right? So if we were solid and confident on our time of death being 7:25 a.m., we could totally take the, you know, police report that they're trying to feed us now. It's me ripping it up. Tat up, right? That's me doing that because it's baloney, right? And especially it's laughable because it comes from the same person who back in November said that the maid found her in the same seated position how she fell on the video in the bedroom, naked. So that's why y'all I mean, think about it. So now they want us to believe that she was moved, the body was dressed and moved to, more than one different location, that there was care rendered, that the Cabo Six were outside first, and then, no, they were in there helping with the CPR. Oh, no, they was outside. Oh, no, they was in the game room, and then Nazir gave mouth to mouth. I mean, come on now. It's ridiculous. Beverly says, Kyrania, yes, the ATL is a great place to live. Okay, Carla. Hey, Carla. Carla says, a man got killed in Mexico a couple of days ago. His family has a lawyer already. Yeah, cool. Yeah, a man. Key word. All right, accidental. Okay. Ebony says, JP6, good. Kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, we always happy to kill a couple of birds with one stone. Kyrania says, right, Ebony, but I hope Mexico don't try to cover for the doctor, because it seems like that's the purpose with Zuniga. He changed his whole story regarding the doctor. Yeah, because the doctor was probably like, y'all better clear my name. Don't be putting my name on this mess. If a real doctor had been there, it would have been a way better cover-up story. The doctor would have just said, okay, she fell from the balcony. She fell out the window. She fell. We would have, anybody in the medical field would have looked at the body and said, well, either she got ran over by a car, something. We got to say something. She fell from the top of the roof. She got drunk and she was on it there. Ooh, I'm queen of the world, and jumped. Something. But definitely not going to say it's alcohol. I'm not going to sign my license onto this crap. It's going to be believable. She fell. She fell off the porch. She fell off the window. She fell. We're going to report some type of a trauma. Definitely not no alcohol poisoning. I'm definitely not going to document saying that I spent over an hour working with a patient. No way. No way. No way. No way. Yes. Let's see. They are unraveling the truth. Exactly. It's like they should just be quiet and stop trying to feed more lies, right? Because it's making it worse. And that is the thing about a lie and the truth. The truth, you don't have to go back and come up and think of different stories. You just stick with the truth. And that's what I do. When they come back with the new lies and stuff, I just go back to the truth. Well, this is what was said. Then this is the beginning of it. This is the video. Or this is what was said. Here's the truth, right? The truth doesn't need explaining. So when they start off with all the explanations about what you're getting ready to see, be prepared for a lie. Be prepared for a lie. The truth never needs explaining. The truth just is. LaJessica says, Ebony, yes, ma'am. They need to discredit the doctor and find the maid. Yeah. Yeah. They've already, the doctor, the doctor is not worried, because the doctor is like, yeah. Prove that I was there doing this. Prove it. See, JP6 says, attack the inconsistencies and break it wide open. Yep, that's what we do in here. You see, as Shirley says, they all played a part in the crime. Just lock them all up. Justice for Shanquella. Yeah, and then too, okay, I think the next one that we're going to hear is from a new content creator, and they have the video, or not the video, the audio, when they had first got back here and they were doing going live. And this one is going to be of winter, and we've heard it before, but I think it's good to hear it again now, because like I said, this was way back in November when they first got back, when people was, talking without thinking that they had to cover up any stories and stuff, right? So we're going to take a listen to that one. Gloria says they botched up the whole murder because the Cabo Six paid them to run. Yeah, and that's why I was saying, like, if they already purchased their little alibi, why are we dressing the body? Why are we moving the body? It doesn't make sense. Why would you need to move the body if they're going to document this stuff here? Here's the police report. Here's, this, they're going to say it was alcohol poison, and here's the stuff, right? So why would we need to, touch the body? If I'm trying to get away with it, why am I trying to spend more time with the body? I'm trying to get out of here quick. I don't want to get caught with this body. Who's going to be bumbling around trying to figure out what to do with the body? For what? We over here in Mexico. They're not going to see this. We could tell them whatever, which we going to tell them is alcohol poison. We can go back and listen to the first interview with the mother and the sister on the radio show when they said it wasn't even 30 minutes before they called back saying she was gone. And that's why I like listening to the old stuff, right? So then we can just be like, look, the mother and the sister said, they called and said, Quinn wasn't feeling good. The sister said it wasn't even 30 minutes when they called back and said, she gone, too late. So that flies in the face of the whole, the doctor got there at 4:20 something, or they called now. All fake, right? Whose video is this? That was Sleuthy Lucy video we just saw. Beverly says, yes. Please find that maid. One YouTuber called Cabo trying to find the maid, but they were evasive. Yeah, they already identified the maid, Lucy, the maid, right? With Geraldo's interview. Let's see. JP6 says, tell the truth and shame the devil. Yeah. Yes. All right, cool. Gloria says, why would you give CPR on an unalive body? Exactly. Let's see here. Ebony says to Jessica, yes. Will someone please find the maid? At this point, we don't know if Zwinga made up the maid. I believe Zwinga telling about the maid, because when Zwinga talked about the maid, that was back in November. Now these are news stories. That's what I'm saying. Like, what, did he forget that he had already gave the interview and said, what he said? That the maid found her, that they had abandoned the body. So if they abandoned the body back in November, when it was reported, they abandoned the body and the maid found her in the room, already stiff. How now, in December and January, are they telling us that that they did all this care and the body was in a different area, it was dressed? Too much, right? All new lies. He said that would be stupid. Yes, stupid. You see, the maid testimony can blow this case wide open. Yeah. And we heard that, right? Shoot, let's see here. JP6 says, what else are they covering up? Yeah. And then too, there's this whole world, like even earlier today, I was down this rabbit hole about lady boys. Lady boys is, I guess the transgenders, right? In Thailand is big place for these lady boys, and it's a whole, this exists, right? And then we saw, I showed y'all back in December, those videos where Mexico have a little camp, a little community for a special place for transgender, sex workers. So they had their own lady boys there too, and have a special. There's a safe place for them to go and be safe over there, right? So maybe that's why they tried to kind of tone down the the information on this thing when it came out about when they said it was a man, when they said that. Let's see. Denise says, don't they check when you go to jail? Over here, there's been some talk that they said that there's been some trans people in the women's prison who was getting inmates pregnant, right? Because they were just lady boys, or what they call them? Did I say it right? Lady boys, but still have a body, still have their the genitalia, right? They just get some boobies put up there, something like that, but they still have their, the real parts and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe over here, I've heard people to say that, they can get their birth certificates changed, and if they, are going into, places where, that's only supposed to be for XX, but, the person is saying, oh, well, I identify, with it, but I'm, you still got, you've got the other parts. That's why I'm saying, we can't, come on now. I don't know, man. This is just ridiculous. It's silly, right? The maid and the chef is the most important common denominator. I think the most important common denominator is the video of the attack, because in that video, we see the attack. We see the actual injuries that are listed on the death certificate. They're identifiable in the actual attack, so we can match those up. We can match that up. So I don't see the maid or the chef, really being relevant, except for maybe to dispute the lies that they're going to try to tell. Yes, usually it's here. Shirley says, you are right, RN, premeditated. Thank you. Thank you. This is not a fight gone bad, right? We saw every move that the attacker made was intentional and executed to perfection. And after the neck was broken, the attacker immediately went to, do the internal decapitation. I'm going to go ahead and break this head off of the body. And then proceeded to punch, kick, knee the head multiple times. Let's see here. The judge says, you have to prove premeditation. That might be hard without proof. Let's see what the proof would be. That's a good one there. That's a good one there. All right, what's the proof, y'all? You see, Tanya says, hey, sorry so late. Hope all is well. Yes, everything is going well. What's the proof, y'all? The proof. I would say the proof to me is I don't know. I'm going to meditate on that, though. The only proof that I can see is that the movements were intentional and they looked like professional moves, like these were techniques. So that's why I would say it was intentional. If you twist me and snap my neck, what's going to happen with that? So I would say the proof is the video. The proof is the video when we saw you strategically go attack, tack on the neck here, grab it, sling it, put yourself in a position, a squatted position to leverage your weight and to twist and sling, do that throw, put to the technique that was rendered there to cause the break in the neck. That's my proof. See, JP6 says second-degree murder is the best you can hope for. No, I want first degree. First degree. First degree. First degree. They had those they had those phone cameras out for a reason. They were silent for a reason. We didn't hear nobody say nothing. Nobody. And why did he say, can you at least fight back? Like we already told you what we're about to do to you. But can you at least fight back? I know it's hopeless, but can you at least fight back? First degree. Tanya says, my favorite channel would rather be late than not attend live at all. Love you, RN. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, and I'm trying to make sure I don't stay up too late. So I'll be another night with no sleep. Gloria says, exactly. Our training is what they teach us. Yes. Kyrania says, I don't know how Mexico does it, but here you have to prove intent. Meaning a prosecutor would more than likely go for manslaughter and not second or first degree because it would be hard to convince a jury. Yeah. And that's when we need to figure out what the motive was. We get the motive, we can definitely go for first degree. Yeah. Well, I guess we're gonna have to start looking around to find out. If y'all haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel, and then to consider becoming a channel member, join the channel to help support the channel. And thank y'all so much for all of your support that you've been giving to me. See, Shirley says, I've worked in the medical field for over 30 years and I haven't seen mouth to mouth in years. Exactly. Like no one does mouth to mouth. That's what I'm saying. Like y'all, so fake here. Beverly says, these cowards probably stayed up all night planning the attack, went into Quilla's room to wake her early in the morning, and the group videotaped this attack. The whole story and alibi is bull. Yeah, I agree. And then the other reason why I would say that it was premeditated, because why did Nazir say this is deeper than what y'all know, right? And whoever said, can you at least fight back? And then why did Winter come back with her story too, and the sound so cold and unaffected that you just witnessed somebody lose her life, right? Quilla did something stupid when she was drunk, and that's how that happened. And she didn't want to fight back. And yeah. I mean, just real cold, matter of fact, like, yeah, and that's how she died. And yeah. You could still hear the anger and the disregard for Shanquella in her voice. See, Malik does look femme. Yeah, I mean, there was talk, people said that they were, all part of that community and stuff too. And like I said, I know that, a lot of some people have, friends that are, have different sexualities and stuff like that. And that, it'd be a group of them. And who knows, maybe Shanquella had friends who were part of this, type of, the community and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. JP6 says, yes, I have to find the weak one in the group. Yeah, I think that is going to be Nazir, right? Because he was just telling everything. See, Mary says, if so-called MD couldn't get a vein, she was probably dead for a while. Yeah, they already told us that Lucy the maid found her at noon, already deceased. They said a body. She found the body at noon. She found the body. They had abandoned the body. They had been calling it a body all this time, right? So now how is she now a patient needing care 4 hours later, almost 5 hours later, right? Yes, we have to find that weak link. I took a CPR class about 6 years ago, and they weren't doing rescue breathing then either. Yeah. And two, we found out that, studies show that it's more important to just do the compressions, right? Because you can give as many breaths, but if you're not circulating the blood, rescue breaths are useless. Useless. You've got to circulate. And that's what the compressions are going to do. It's going to circulate that blood. Let's see here. Winter speaks ugly and she's ugly inside. Yeah, I accept that. That's a cool message. All right, so here we go. Let me get our good heavens, our next video. I'm gonna scoot down to the bottom here. I'm looking for new names and members. Here's a new name. Let's see here. Oh, and I pick a tough one. Let's see, Aharana Yasurio. Aharana Yasurio says, but thanks for keeping her story alive. Oh, you're welcome. I must have missed something up here. Let's see, hello, I'm new, but I love your channel. I might have said this before. No, I haven't seen this name before. Thank you so much. Here's another new name. All right, Pebbles says, hey, me too. Okay, so let me go and be done down here. Let's get our next video up. The next video is going, okay. Yeah, and like I said, I had been down a rabbit hole with all these DL stories. So apparently there's a need for, there's a lot of content on the DLs. Down low is a term that they're, saying out here. Here we go. Winter speaks. I want to say it's kind of quick.
So everything that I say here is...
All right, hold it tight. Here we go. This is from a new content creator I'm going to subscribe to. It's the wrong thing. A new content creator. Oops.
Say that everything on this channel is alleged, in my opinion, and we'll go ahead and get going. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about T.S. Madison. T.S. Madison is...
Oh, well, I didn't know, y'all. This is my, like I said, first time, and I like to watch the videos with y'all. So, I don't know what's going on.
A YouTuber / blogger / actress that is a part of the LGBTQ community. And she is a trans woman.
Okay.
And there has some controversy actually surrounding T.S. Madison regarding the Shanquella Robinson case. So I'm going to go ahead and get you guys kind of caught up. So basically what happened is T.S. Madison put a post out, and in the post the post stated, now, why would someone even start that kind of lie on a trans person? And you people immediately, in all capital letters, believe that bogus, what?
But it wasn't a lie. It was just out there. And when it was first just out there, nobody was making something out of it until like this. So I don't get, like, I don't know. When they said that the Mexican people authorities said it was a man, that's where we got the information from. And then the people saw the video.
What? That is not true. No transgender woman, and that's it all caps, beat. And then she said hashtag Shanquella Robinson to death. It was one of her own. And that was also in capital letters. You people immediately ran with that lie. Well, honey, that statement caused a lot of controversy in itself. There were some people upset with what she...
I didn't hear that, statement or know anything about this, what this
said. And the biggest thing they were upset with was the statement, her own. I think people were feeling attacked and feeling like, why would you make a statement like that? Well, some of the comments stated, there was a lot of things that were stated in the comment. And one commenter said, that was one of her own, but when it comes to them being included in each and everything we do, they don't want to be left out. Which one is it? So people are feeling, or I would say maybe cisgender women are feeling a little offended by the statement, your own, because it's insinuating that, we didn't, or no one from the trans community hurt Shanquella Robinson. It was one of y'all. But I think the statement y'all was not inclusive, as if, and I think people were assuming that T.S. Madison didn't want to be included in the, your own statement when she herself is a transgender woman. So another person stated, they was answering the young lady at the top that just made that statement, and she said, they make me sick, ! Always trying to input themselves in something that doesn't involve them. And there was a couple of more statements. It kind of went on and on. It was not nice. The next person said, the next person stated, what you mean it was one of her own? ? Like, I'm trying to figure out what that means. Someone else said, one of her own, ? Yet transgender fight so hard to be included in the we are women too. I guess when murder is involved, they want no part in any of it. R.I.P. baby girl, may justice prevail. Someone else said, her own rubs the wrong way. Let's focus on the crime. So again, there were several things that was said that people were making comments and they weren't liking that your own state. It wasn't sitting right with people, and they weren't feeling like it was something that was, becoming of T.S. Madison. So another person said, never heard that one, but okay. Then someone else said, this isn't the time. And the last one I'll read is, one of her own, ? Child, just say another woman. You claiming to be one, so what's so hard about saying another woman with the F? So T.S. Madison did not like it. She wanted to clarify her statement, what she meant by saying your own. So she came back out and put another post out, just answering some of the comments I guess so people will know exactly where she was coming from, because she wanted to make sure that people understood, and her statement was, y'all are so funny. So now, all of a sudden today, you started accepting trans women as quotation women. It's the pick and choose what I say that offends you for me. So it was the her your own that drove you mad. And today you finally accepted us as women. Bye. So I'm going to take that was a sarcastic statement. And again, people were not so nice in the comments, and they were making comments, back to T.S. Madison in regards to that. So then, it almost seems like this was becoming a trans woman versus cis woman debate. And really, the whole thing is
And I hope y'all know that,
about Shanquella Robinson. She lost her life. And whether she lost her life to the hands of a trans woman or a real woman, it makes never mind. That young lady is not here anymore. And that is what we should be focusing on, not who did it.
But of course we have to focus on who did it. Why should we not focus on who did it? In any other case, if someone else was unalived, would they tell us not to focus on who did it? Why are we being told not to care about who did it?
So I believe some cis women were feeling like that every time something happens, transgender women want to kind of take up arms and make the fight about them. And then some trans women, were feeling like, hey, listen, that's not the case. We were just defending ourselves and making sure that you all knew.
But nobody was attacking the trans women. We want if the attacker in the video, that person is an individual. So why are y'all taking it that we're attacking the whole community? We need to go back to the separate but equal days and give them their own little spot, like how we used to have our separate but equal drinking fountains and all that stuff, the rest, all that stuff, right? So this is ridiculous.
That was a rumor. This was not a trans woman, and we already get beat up and abused enough.
Yes.
We don't want to be blamed for something we definitely didn't do, or it didn't happen in our community. So I definitely understand both sides. Well, T.S. Madison had a little bit to say in reference to, these comments transpiring back and forth on social media. She ended up going live in an attempt to set the record straight. And I think that was a good thing. I think that hopefully that will put this particular issue to rest. And we shouldn't hear any more about this particular issue, especially since it was a rumor to begin with. So that's all I have for this video. I'm going to end the video with letting you hear what T.S. Madison had to say, and we'll close it out that way. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, if you have any strong feelings on this topic, leave a comment in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
Okay. For some strange reason, I couldn't get it out. This is going to be one of many lives for the next couple of days because I'm home right now and I wasn't able to be home and stuff like that. But this is going to be one live for a couple of, hey, Avery, Sunshine, hi, baby. Tammy, what's up, baby? Listen, Jameson on his way over here to do my hair. And, we're going to go see Wakanda. All right. So I'm going to talk about this stuff. I'm going to try to communicate with y'all I'm going to try not to be, high energy, like angry, because I don't want to come off as an angry person and stuff like that. But Hannah, yes, we're gonna tune in. I'm actually today gonna do something that I don't normally do. I'm gonna add people to my live too. And I'm specifically looking for cisgender Black women to have these discussions with, and I'm not gonna just pull in.
Motion detected at side garage.
Girl, don't start. I'm on my live now. Don't start. Don't start this shit. I'm gonna pull in a few black cis women who want to share how they feel. I'll call you, Ronnie, in a minute. I'm about to, because I got to talk about this. I want to talk, want to share how they feel about whatever. All right. First of all,
I want us to say this real quick. This is a great question. Beverly Foster says, if a trans woman is a woman, what the heck am I? Because I'm not the same as a transgender. Good question. If anybody has any answers, please let us know how that works. Millie Love said, it's not the who, it's more like the what, XX or XY. I agree with you. That's why I don't understand like what the big pushback is. Like why, if all of us could see it, not all of us, but those of us who see the individual in there and can identify it as an XY, I find it hard to believe that a transgender can't identify themselves, another one of them. Kyrania said, it definitely matters who did it. The gender matters. You can live your best transgender life, but when it comes to my safety, I'm handling you like a man you were born as. Exactly. Because you're not going to be able to tone down your strength. You have an XY frame. It's impossible for us to be the same. You're going to be able to move faster. You're going to be stronger. It's not fair.
We start out with good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody out there. That's one. Two, I just got back in town. I've been going out of town for weeks. Those of you who follow me, like the Maddie Mob that really follows me and fucks with me, those of you who follow me and fuck with me, you already know that, I'm usually out of town, or I would have been spoken on many of the topics, because that's what I do, okay? That's what I do. I talk about the little stuff or whatever that goes on in the community, in our community as Black people, on our time. Now, I have not been able to speak on everything because I have been working. Okay, so no, you might not have seen me talk about Shanquella. No, you may not have seen that because you haven't seen me really talk about anything, because I have I've been busy working. Wow. Now that I am home, I have time today. So, hey, Chichi, what's up? I'm putting on some oil. I got a bottle of oil, honey. I got me some Get Money oil from Prince Elias. That's another story. We ain't talking about that oil. I'm talking about it. I want to talk about this, okay? I will be pulling a few cis Black women. I'm going to be pulling a few trans women. Hopefully we are going to be very, Mimi, you said, why are you distracted from the facts of the case? Okay, so what is the facts of the case? Because what the statement I made was, because what I was tagged in when I woke up this morning was, here's what was said to me, was, bitch, you trans talk about everything. You talk about everything. You talk about everything else, but I bet you won't talk about this, about how a transgender bitch beat up and killed that girl. So this is how I was met before I even had the opportunity to start talking about the subject. Before I even had the opportunity to start talking about the subject, I was...
Y'all hear the offense in the voice? Already offended. Just angry and offended. Why?
Woke up with that when I checked my messages and stuff this morning. So that's why.
So now if this person is coming at me like that, am I going to go back and forth with you? when I know you got a Y chromosome? And any little thing sets you off? You got set off because of something that you read that you was tagged in. Where are the real women safe at? We get hostility all over.
I made the post. That's why it was not about me deflecting or taking away or making this about trans people and this and the other. It was before I even had the opportunity to, I'm going to explain to her own. Her own means her own, God damn it. What are you talking about? That's what her own means. So immediately when I got up, it was this. I'm like, bro, damn. So mind you, I started looking at the story like, oh my God. So they really finna sit up here and try to make this out to do this? Like they really finna start, like they really finna sit here and try to shift this shit around like this? Like, nah, let me first start out with that before I do get in and start giving my commentary on the situation. So the first thing that I motherfucking saw in reference to what was going on was this. This is what I saw. Okay? Some man.
But this is the picture without the hair. This is the same face. And look at the arms, y'all. This is why we saying that this is a transgender, because of the XY chromosome stature here. If this was an XX, the hands would be up higher. They wouldn't be this low. Look at these long arms. This is where an XY would put their hands trying to put on the hips. We do not do that as XX. When we put our, let me put this on so y'all can see the difference. And the transgenders do this pose all the time, because I don't know if they think this is how a woman would, an XX would pose. But because of the structure, our skeletal structures are different. They're going to have longer arms because of this, these clavicles, these bones appear longer. So when this is the space that an XX is going to put here around the waist, not here. So you see how low this is, and look where my elbows are at, right? Because I'm down here. This is what a real woman gonna do, like here, because we're supporting our low back because of the S shape in our spine. When you see the trans people, they're gonna put their hands here because it's way down here. This is not comfortable. My hands I can't even put them here. It's gonna fall down. It's too low. This is where the real women gonna put the hands there. If y'all see the picture of Winter in that little pink dress, you can see that her hands are right behind her back. They're on the hips, right behind the back. That's where this is the position that an XX chromosome is going to place the hands in, because we are supporting our low back. This is let me put it back on here so I can see. This is a clear, let me take myself off here too. This is a dead giveaway. This pose here, look at this, how big and long these arms are. Even if you saw the hair on here, like this here, this only thing that was changed was they took the hair off. This is the same face and the same position. So don't even look at the hair. Look at these arms. Look at these big hands here. Look where they're placed at. If this was an XX, the hands would be up here. Up there, right up there. And these elbows would be, this would be the indentation where those elbows would be going, right? Can y'all see my mouse? Hope y'all can see my mouse. These hands here, look how these big, huge hands and these long arms. These arms are too long. An XX is not going to have this length on the arms. And why can't we accept that this is a transgender? It's up here with a blue and pink shirt on. It's a proud member of the community. So here's a way for you to tell, regardless if there is a wig or something on here. This is why the Mexican authorities said that the person kept taking the wig on and off. That's why they thought it was a man. But they said it was a man first. And then when people gave them the pushback, that's when they gave the excuse of the wig being on or off. Wig being on and off is not going to make a person think it's a man or a woman. Look at these other indications here. These long arms and these big hands. Where the hands are placed at. This is not a comfortable position for a real woman because our arms aren't long enough to reach this low. If you're a real woman, stand up right now and put your hands on your waist. Put your hands on your where you would put them at. Now, pose them like this and see how uncomfortable it feels. Your hands are going to feel like they're going to slip off because you don't have the length to put them here. Your arms aren't long enough.
And some black man had took the wig off of the girl and made the girl look like this. Okay? This is what I saw first.
All right, now I'm so grateful that this is here is covering up. So if we just looking at the face, right? Even just looking at the face, you see the square chin there. And the shape of the head. Like when I showed you guys, you know, our design for women is circles. It's circles, not angles. The XYs have angles. XX is more circles. But anyway, this video is over. But this was a great one here. I don't know how this one came into my came off into my repertoire, but that was a good one there. And I'm grateful that here's a person that's, saying that they are, but I can't understand how. Okay, yeah. All right. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all there. Okay, so let's see. Let me go. I'm looking for new names and members. Beverly says, why training mad? Because people ain't rolling out the red carpet for her sexuality. Ain't nobody doing this for straight people. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't see why, to get a special treatment. And then did you see the anger? Hey, thank you. I appreciate the super sticker. Chinyuri, Egg you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I was hoping that, that y'all see the anger, right? And how, I would feel uncomfortable like that. That's just not how, we don't behave like that. We don't just have that, all that rage in us like that, or just, getting angry all the time, right? And how am I supposed to feel? How are you going to feel comfortable to say anything when people in that community get triggered and they jump immediately to be red zone? Because you saw a picture that pointed one of you out? Why couldn't you just say that was bad for this person to do that? But no, you internalize it and make it about you and y'all's community. Everybody in your community ain't perfect. And I don't believe that you cannot look at this face and know that this here is an XY. And just like I said, I'm going to zip it back a little bit more because I really appreciate this little pose here. Let me move all this stuff off so y'all can see. All right. Look at the arms again, y'all. This is the big key right here. And I love that they always take the time to do this position, right? But this ain't where a XX gonna have the hands. It's too low. Ours is right up here. And that's because, oh, y'all can't even see me. That's because of the spine. Of the spine. I'm going to show the bones real quick and then I'm going to get out of here. But these are the reasons why I showed this, because this is the one thing that you can't change, right? We saw this T.S. Madison. She had some big old juicy boobies, right? Them boobies look, I wanted to swim up in there. Them boobies, they look like the real deal, right? There's ways to be able to tell because this skeleton cannot be changed. So even if you get things added, like I'm going back, I'm gonna use this one as a good example. When they had her up there standing up in those clothes with all the hips and booty and stuff, I'm gonna show y'all how you can see the difference, because the fat on an XY chromosome skeleton is gonna look a lot different than what it would look like on I think this is one here. Okay, you ain't gonna be able to see. She's got these words up here. I wish I could take that off. But if you could see, yeah, it's too dark. Let me see if I can pull the better one. But you can see by body structure, right? These arms are so long, and then look where the hips and the booty is at. And they up too high because I think that's about all I can see. We're gonna show them here. Anyway, okay. Oh, but that was good in there. I wanted to show the body of her standing up so you can see the difference between a fat booty and hips on an XX chromosome as opposed to fat booty and hips on an XY. It's going to be in different spaces because of the foundation. So let me do this really quick. Oh, and also I think I didn't drop it, but I wanted to, in case somebody wanted to come up and talk, right? And explain what's going on. Explain. All right, so this here is the one important thing that separates us. Like, we know if skeletal remains were found in the woods, they can determine if it's male or female. And the one difference in the male and female is this pelvis. The pelvis is, we all have the same 206 bones, right? But the pelvis on the male and the female are the ones that are different. And they can tell too by other bones too. But this is the one that is different. We all have clavicles. We all have, they're going to be longer on the XYs. However, if you're just still holding just two clavicles in your hand, and you didn't have the rest of the skeleton, it could be from a tall or a big XX, right? So the size on that just wouldn't necessarily make a difference. However, the pelvis, and the reason why the pelvises are different is because the female skeleton is designed to carry babies. So that's why our pelvis has to be different. And that's why we have this S shape in our spine, because this is what we need in order to be able to keep the balance when we are carrying the baby, right? These babies can get up to like 10 pounds. Some of them even be bigger, right? So this is how we don't fall over from the weight this is how we keep the weight. Our creator, the designer, made us this way to be able to still walk around while we are carrying a child. The pelvis also is going to be tilted so the baby doesn't fall out. So you're going to have this tilt in your pelvis and this little S shape in your back. And that's why when we walk, it looks like we're switching. It's not that we're switching. It's just because we are making accommodations for this tilt in the pelvis, right? And by having the tilt in the pelvis, it's going to make us walk differently. So let me see here. All right, so here we go over here. This is the XY pelvis. As you can see, it's very narrow. And, oh, y'all can't see. I'm not sharing my screen. I don't have to share my screen because it's here. It's over here. My bad. But I'm going to move my mouse over here so y'all can see. That's what I got to do. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. Now we're on the same thing here. All right. So over here, you can see this is the male pelvis, XY. It's very narrow here. And look at these spines on the vertebrae. See, the vertebrae are the bones in the back here. And this is what was damaged on Shanquella. It says severe spinal cord injury. So all these little bones here are all damaged up there. All right, so you see how spiny these are over here in the male skeleton, right? It's pricky, it's spiny, and look at these angles. Everything look like angles, right? Everything's angles, right? And here's the hips up here. Hips are going to be high. See these big wings up there, high hips. So when you see a fat booty and it's short and up high, that will be a booty on an XY chromosome because of this here shape. And we go over here. Go over here. Man, I got the wrong chair. This ain't gonna work. Let me scoot this over a little bit so y'all can see a bit better. Okay, I'll go this way. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm working on it. Here we go. There's better. All right. So over here, as you can see, look at these big old circles, big old ovals over here. This is the female skeleton. This is XY. See this big old bowl up here? This is the 10 centimeters that your cervix is going to dilate to in order to let the baby pass out of the body, pass through the body. This is here part of the birth canal, right? Look it up here. Look at the vertebrae. Look how smooth they are, right? Remember over here how pointy and prickly they are? Pointy, prickly. But over here, nice and smooth because the baby's going to be in there. Baby's got to have that space, right? Look how wide this is. This is wide. And look, you see circles? Look at those circles. Beautiful. This is why we have curves, ladies, because of this here makeup there, right? This pelvis is also tilted. So it's like we're going to be slower because we have this shape in our back and also this tilted pelvis required when we walk. So you can actually look at a person when they're walking, like I had showed y'all on that one trans video. You can see with the gait, and even in the one attack video, we see the body structure. And then when the attacker was smacking the hands and saying, "I'm tired of your it," when it went to step out, it was on the back leg, and that's how the XYs move because they have a straight back and a straight pelvis. So if there's no arch in the back and the abdomen is extremely flat, then that is a XY chromosome. Even an XX who has not had a baby is still going to have a pooch in the belly because of the tilted pelvis. Y'all following me? So it's certain ways that an XY can move that an XX can't. The XY is going to be faster because when they move and walk, they're using the back leg. So that means they can thrust. That's how the attacker was able to get the, not only the long arm reach, but because of the speed. And that's why we're saying it makes a difference. It wasn't fair. Shanquella never had a chance. Thank you again. I appreciate that. Oh, Jackie. Hey, Jackie. Jackie says trans are too sensitive and too feminism. They overdo everything. Swing hair, hips, making up new words and all. Yeah, and then it's like, okay, so who's going to be able to challenge you, right? Who's going to challenge that? Because at any time you can just show that you're a real XY and put the strength on, right? And a couple of boom, boom, booms and it's over. So if I say something that the trans person doesn't like and they get big with me, what can I do? Joyce, hey Joyce. Joyce says they can't compare themselves to a real woman because they're not born with God that way. That's a fact. Yeah, and then too, y'all, this is at conception. There's no way that you can change this. So you can take some hormones, you can get some shots, you can do those things, but your brain and your skeleton is still the same. And that's the part that's scary. When they getting upset and like the video, the one in the store. Do y'all need to see that? What's going on here? I feel you. You see here, Beverly says this picture does have a square chin. The other Dejanay picture. Yeah, and remember I was showing y'all how, to me, it looks like they're showing pictures of two different people. One looks like an XX, and then one looks like an XY. But they do not look like the same people. So, let's see, because the one, like I showed y'all the other day with the person they were saying is Dejanay, that looks like an XX in the bathing suit, the elbows that went right in here and had short arms like a real XX. So if those are the same people, how are the arms on this picture, with the pink and blue shirt on, long? But over here in the bathing suit, they're not. Like, arms don't grow and get smaller. They don't, change in length like that. And there's, nothing that you could take, no hormones or nothing like that you can take that's going to change the length of your arms or any of those kinds of things. You can't change the, your bones or none of that stuff. The bones are the bones. Even fat people, your bones are still, you're still got the same skeleton, right? You still have the same skeleton. When you're dead and gone, there's just nothing there but the bones. They're not going to be able to tell that you had some fake boobies or you took hip injections or whatever the thing. They're not going to be able to tell even if you were fat, because you're still going to have the same skeleton. Your bones don't get bigger. The skeletal structure cannot be changed. It's formed at conception. It's decided at conception. You see, the picture does have a square chin, the other Dejanay picture. Okay, so thank you. Because a lot of people thought they were the same people, but a lot of people thought they were different. They're like, no, those two different people. Two different people. And that's what I was saying. I was like, so what if these trans people are trying to, blame this on a real XX, right? That's why I'm so grateful that we have the video, got a video and be able to say, no, this is definitely not the same person that did the attack. We can tell by the moves, right? You can see. We see the long arms, right? We see the broad shoulders. And like I said, you cannot fake your walk, right? We saw, I'm tired of your it. And they walked out there and that front leg was up. And I was like, aha, I froze it right there so you can see. Look, the front leg is not touching the floor. They're in the midst of the gait. The gait for a female is going to be on the front leg because of the tilted pelvis. So we walk moving forward because of the tilted pelvis. The XY have a straight pelvis. So when they walk, they're thrusting from the back leg. That's why they're faster than us. So when you fake like you're something else, and then you go get off into women's sports and all that stuff, and then you win all these trophies and awards, you're cheating. You're cheating. You're cheating. Hey, Priscilla. Priscilla's a member. Priscilla says women don't hit with that much power because women don't have that much power. Our muscles are smaller. And that's another way to look too. For people, some people really don't know. Some people don't know. That's why I'm trying to point out these things. So, and somebody had wrote a comment on there saying, oh, but women, we don't have an x-ray because, I show the bone. I'm showing the bones because I'm trying to just let your brain think about when you look at it, why it would look a certain way. The same way with the chest, right? Even if they get the fake breast, you can see, you know, the definition here. They'll have these clavicles, you know, there'll be so much more definition because of the muscles, right? And it'll just be, you know, yeah. So, yeah. And it's not that I'm saying to get an x-ray. I'm saying that if you see the person has a straight back and a real flat stomach, it's impossible for it to be an XY. Because it's impossible for it to be an XX. Even an XX who's never had a baby, you know, a young flat tummy one, is still going to have a little pooch because of that tilted pelvis. And the hips are going to be below the crotch. The woman's hips, XX, going to be below because that's how else the baby going to get out. And that's why they can't make a fake vagina for the XYs, because y'all saw the space. It's not enough space in there. The design doesn't accommodate for that. Oh, look at here. All right, see, stay quiet, regretful. All right, just a super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Stay quiet, regretful. All right, welcome. All right, you new up here. I'm way down. Way up. All right, thank you. Appreciate that. Beverly is saying this picture does have okay, I already read that too. Thank you. Plus, Gloria said, plus the kick doesn't look like something a female does. This the whole aggression, right? They can't even hide it good because their true nature comes out. We saw that with this little video I just saw. This person was upset because somebody made a comment from reading a comment and still never acknowledged any type of compassion that someone lost their life. He was enraged about mad, right? Let's see. Carla said, did you see a picture of the maid? I never saw a picture of the maid. I got that information from the interview that Geraldo did, and he had interpreters up there. And this was the words that came out of the mouth of the interpreter after Geraldo had spoke. And that's where I got the information that the maid stated that she found Shanquella in the seated position in the bedroom floor where she fell. And she was already stiff, already hard and stiff. Yes. So let's see here. Arona says, let me see, maybe. Arona Yisrael says, Gloria, the whole attack looked like a male to me. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Look at those long arms. Look at the long arms and look at how fast the attacker got the first hit on Shanquella. Because it's moving from the back leg. Shanquella trying to move with a tilted pelvis. Women are slower. Women are weaker because we weren't designed to be fast and strong. We were designed to carry the baby. Hey, Priscilla. Priscilla says women don't hit that with that much power. Exactly. We ain't got it in us. Gloria says exactly. She agrees with you. We don't have it in us. We don't. Beverly says, I'm just saying that the picture was tampered with using an app. I've always said I won't be surprised if she's a man. I'm just not going to claim she is without being 100% sure. I feel you on that. I'm just saying with those, these are ways to look. Whenever you see the trans people posing with the hands on the hip, I'm so grateful they do that, because that is the clear indicator right there with those long arms, right? They see, you know, like ladies, I don't know why we like to pose like that too. When we're putting our hands on the hip, it's really to help, you know, this where your kickstand is at, right? Because you kind of supporting your low back. You're supporting the load, right? But the trans people do it because they're trying to imitate a woman. They're trying to imitate, oh, this is what the ladies do. But ours is up here. Y'all way down there because that's where yours is at. Because you got them long arms. They couldn't put theirs up here. It would look ridiculous, right? All way up here. So, and when I saw the attack, I saw a flat back, I saw a straight back, I saw the speed, and like I said, when it's clapping his hands, saying, "I'm tired of your it," and then it went to walk out like that, boom. Throw it. But see there, right there, standing up, getting ready to move forward, the front leg was off of the floor. That means that they were standing, supporting their balance on the back leg. Women walk different from men because when we walk, our front leg is going to be on the floor first and the back leg is coming up. So we are just moving the earth, you know, putting the foot down and moving backwards. It's different for men. They are thrusting and then catching the foot, you know, on the floor after they're already in motion. So those are the ways that I can see and say that I, you know, feel confident knowing that that's definitely an XY structure. Because yes, there are some women that have slim hips, right? But you still gonna see some hips below the crotch. They're not gonna be way up high. They're gonna be low. Because we were designed like that. The baby got to come out. So that's why the hips got to be low. So the baby can come on out. Let's see here. All right. Says, Arona Yisrael says, that's why it's so easy for Quilla to sustain such harsh injuries. Yeah. Could no woman do that? To me, I believe it would take much more trauma. Exactly. Right? And look how fast it did it. 27 seconds. And that was with okay. And then boom. It took a few seconds to do that. A few seconds. The only reason I say she when referring to her is out of habit. Oh, me too. Y'all hear I be saying, and then she, you know, and two, it's like we've been programmed to, you know, to say this. That's what we've heard and stuff. And I try to say XY and XX just so, you know, nobody be like, well, so-and-so identifies, you know, like you can't, even if you see that it's an XY. I saw the one in the GameStop going off. It is ma'am. It is ma'am. You know, it's like, what? XY chromosome. Let's see. Marie says, questions, could that person got angered because Shanquella said get naked and that person got angry, didn't want to show the truth from his or her body? You know, you're not the first person to say that or to feel that way, that was kind of what it was, because we have on video Shanquella, you know, gleefully walking around saying, hey, come on, get naked. All right, don't take that long to get naked, right? Then we see come in the room and we see them hands on the hip again. Man, I need to play the video. Y'all see in that I think it was a purple dress. Anyway, that person hands was way down, them big old long arms and elbow way out there. Dead giveaway. Even the voice, you can hear the voice. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that. So you're not the only one. Exactly, are in the pelvic. Yes, exactly. You can't change that. And that's how you can tell. Even if when they get the fat booties, the BBLs, whatever like that, It's still it's gonna be a straight back and then the booty. It's not gonna look the same. And I think, they be really focused on trying to, have the curves and all that stuff, but you can still see the angles in there, right? Because that's just the foundation, right? That's just how it's gonna look. All right, Pebble says, I wish Quilla bitten him when she was in that headlock. It was so fast. It was so fast. Yeah. Yeah. That's always the hard part too when we watch the video. Even, John Q came up here, and the last one we did was just with the still pictures, and just to see the position of the body and stuff, knowing that, this is not going to end well. Yeah. Yeah, I always have big wishes and stuff too, but honestly, there was absolutely nothing that she could have done. And who knows if the biting would have made it worse. But it was so fast. I don't even think, it was too fast. It was too fast. It was within seconds. That's why I'm saying that's premeditated, because you went to it. You had a plan. Let's see. What angers me, this is Beverly. Beverly Fox said, what angers me is that everyone else on the trip thought Shanquella needed to be attacked. Why? And to film her naked. They are all guilty of conspiracy and invasion of privacy. I agree. And then this Winter's voice being so cold, that's what I'm saying. It had to be some type of plan. Even when Nazir was talking, they didn't even say they had beat the ass. He was just talking so nonchalant. No one was affected. Him or Winter. Those are the only two voices that I think that we've heard. I don't think we've heard voices from anyone else. Neither one had in their voice yeah, man, Quilla, gone, nothing. No sorrowful, no nothing. Not a tear. Not even an ounce of compassion in the voice. Arana says, think about y'all. That's why nobody stopped the attack. They was afraid of demon. Yeah. Yeah, especially after what just happened there. I feel like they were all in on it. And that's why they didn't stop it, because this was part of the ritual. This is what needs to be done. And this is why we're doing it. Because she had no compassion in her voice. Quilla did something stupid when she was drunk. And she told her, get out of bed, we're going to fight. And Quilla didn't want to. And that's how that happened. All right, so let me see. I think I have one little quickie here. Then we could call it a night. Oh, okay. This will be interesting. I didn't even recognize I had. This is the older one. This says what you should know about Dejanay. Okay, interesting. Let's see here. Oops. Oh, Queen Esquire. Okay, and this here, it's a month ago. All right, y'all know how I feel about the older videos. All right, this is real quick too. This is a quickie, only 3 minutes. Yes, all right. Oh, I need to share again. All right, yeah, since we on Dejanay, let's see what Queen talking about over here. What you should know about Dejanay Jackson. Did she allegedly unalive Shanquella?
So, as I was saying earlier, I was thinking it's very important that we take a look at the background information about the Cabo 6 individuals involved in this tragedy. We need to look at who they are, where they're from, to really get a clear picture of who we are dealing with, you guys. We're trying to put the pieces together. We're trying to analyze this. So Let's take a look at Dejanay Jackson, the one that is alleged to have brutally beaten to death Shanquella. So her full name is Dejanay Imani Jackson. She's a Black woman from North Carolina. And here are 10 things that we should know about her. This is Dejanay Twitter.
Okay, so they put it's the same one on there. This is the one that but is there a third picture of them? Okay, so all right, here we go with those arms there. Yeah. These don't look alike to me though.
So this is the information that they found about her. Here's a photo of her. This is the LinkedIn that we looked at before about her, talking about she's a full-time healthcare management.
But then they just showed that the without a job doing the look like a brewery company or something like that, some type of factory job. What is going on?
Field focusing on leadership and stuff like that. And we'll click on that a little later, but sorry guys. Oh, I guess we just clicked on it then, okay. Leadership, and people say, no, she is not in healthcare anymore. So that's what somebody is saying allegedly, that she's actually not in healthcare. And last I checked, she was in customer service, that she was the customer service of the job that she works at, which is Blue Rhino.
Okay.
So she's an aspiring healthcare professional, but that's not what she works. She actually works at Blue Rhino. And she went to the same school as Shanquella, Winston-Salem State University. We've been hearing that from pretty much all the Cabo Six, that they went to this Winston-Salem State University. So we can confirm the connection here with the Cabo Six. That we all have already known, but it is good to at least verify the information by looking at it. So here, she is a resident of Jamestown, Guilford County, North Carolina. She is a Democrat. She attended Winston-Salem State University in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, North Carolina. She was 1 year older than her fellow Winston-Salem State University alumni, Shanquella.
All right, so okay, I guess you're gonna read it. Okay, I'll stop it when you get to it.
Shanquella Robinson. On October 31st, 2020, she registered to vote in North Carolina.
Okay, that's what I wanted to stop there, right? So, how old is Dejanay? So if I'm thinking she's the same age as Shanquella, right? So 25. 2 from 25 put you at 23. Why did she get a new birth certificate now? Is that why she's registering at such a late time, right? 2020, when it should have been 2015, right? That's when she would have been 18 to first start voting. Why? Anyway, I wanted to stop there because I saw that. I thought that was interesting that the date for the registering to vote would be at such a odd time.
On November 3rd, 2020, during the U.S. presidential election, she voted in Guilford County. I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but I guess they don't really have much on this girl. On October 28th, she allegedly went to Cabo, San Lucas.
Yeah. How come everything's so recent, right? Where's the rest of the history?
Is Baja California, Mexico, with Robinson and 5 other friends from Winston-Salem State University. On October 29th, Robinson was found deceased in a room in the Fundadores Beach Club area in San José del Cabo. After Robinson's death, she and 5 other companions allegedly immediately went back to the U.S., which is alleged to have been October 30th. She was 26 years old when Robinson died on October 29th.
Okay, 26. So then that would make her 23, even older for this voting time.
After Robinson died, she deleted her LinkedIn profile, where she described herself as an aspiring healthcare professional and listed Blue Rhino, a propane tank exchange brand based in Guilford County, as a place of
Sounds like a pretty masculine, no, it's joking. Masculine job to me.
employment. So she works at a propane tank exchange brand place as a customer service rep.
Oh,
Girl,
okay.
you are not an inspiring health professional. She over here lying on LinkedIn, y'all.
All right, so that was it. It was a little 3-minute video. I thought I was gonna find out some more stuff, but hey, Kairanya says, right, that definitely shouldn't be allowed. And I think that was talking about letting the transgenders compete in women's sports. They are cheating real women out of opportunities. Even people in the trans community disagree with them competing against women. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, like that's. I remember a few years ago I was watching this TV show called I Am Jazz, and it was about this transgender teenager. Apparently, and I remember this was too like on the news years ago when it was 6 years old. This it was open. The mother, which encouraged this whole let the kid, transition or whatever like that at this young age. I forgot the story I was going to. Oh yeah. So anyway, the kids, now I think it was like in a early high school or late middle school, something like that, wanted to be part of the soccer team. Now, this kid, since an XY chromosome, looking like, David Beckham on the field out there with these girls. Of course, you're going to be soccer in circles around them. You're XY chromosome. They're not going to have the same athleticism as you because you have an XY structure. So you're going to be faster. You don't have a tilted pelvis. You're going to be stronger. And if they letting them get off into, especially these boxing sports and like that, there was I don't remember. I think it was maybe a year or so ago that there was one of them in this whole little boxing or a sport thing and could have killed a real you do with that. That is not fair. I'm taking estrogen. So what? Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong. However, this kind of stuff's going on. This kind of stuff's going on. Beverly says the male coccyx is also different because it is tilted inward and immovable. That's true. While the female coccyx is movable for childbirth. Yep. This explains man's straight back. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. See, Aranya says, yes, you said my name right. Oh, thank you so much. She's like struggling. Thank you. Ooh, I'm way down here. Let me see here. Uh-oh. Chinyuri says the attack was in the beast mode. Yes. The attacker in the beast mode. Yeah. And that's why most people was like, oh, that looked like a man. It was too fast. Too fast. See, Gloria said the maid is hiding because she's going to be the state witness. Natasha says, right, I believe that maid knows it all. Yeah, the maid was the one that hooked them up to tell them how to get the get the alibi, right? The maid was the one found it, and they said they called the concierge, right? These concierge, they do whatever, right? If you trying to find you a lady boy, they'll find you one of them too, right? They know how to get all this stuff done, right? These here alibis, that's what they do. Oh, yeah, we just tell it alcohol poisoning, right? Oh, yeah, just drop the body off here. We'll take care of it. Alcohol poisoning, right? That'll be 20 pesos, right? So, yeah, that's why I'm telling y'all, this is why a lot of the stuff is fake as far as like this whole cover-up story stuff. They was not trying to do all that stuff. I did that. What is this? But that's that. What's this? Woman seen in Shanquella. Oh, I'm innocent. Okay, I have one more little small one then too, since I'm having a good time. Oh, look at here. Thank you. So I said your name correctly too. She says, "Thank you for your hard work. I will support my own." How about that? Thank you. I sure appreciate that. And I really do appreciate too when, people are, brave enough to say that, right? Because we've been so bullied and so afraid to say stuff, it's hard for people to just even speak out and tell the truth, right? Afraid of the, backlash and stuff, right? And we see how sensitive the people are. Just in case, I'm pretty sure everybody wasn't here when I did the trans anger video. Just go ahead and play that one real quick. Because to me, I thought it was alarming. And I just want to show y'all this whole thing too, right? So here we go. I just typed up here in this little search engine for the YouTube, trans anger. And I get this big long list of things here. This was one of the ones that was really alarming to me. As you can see here, this top video, it says transgender city councilwoman. So the transgender is the city councilwoman. Transgender city councilwoman confronts Aberdeen store owner over controversial sign. So this store owner has a controversial sign, but if you just take a peek at this thumbnail, look at how big the transgender is, right? Right? Now, just even if it was a tall woman, you can see the long arms, right? This obviously looks like an XY chromosome. This XY is not fooling anybody, right? Aside from it standing up there with the dress on, there are no indicators that this is an XY chromosome. It's only a 2-minute video. I've never seen this one before. This is the one that I wanted to show y'all. But I'm just curious to see what this is about. And then we can see here. And I want to show y'all this because when people try to say, they make it seem like this community of people don't exist. I just typed that up, and here's a whole big list of ones that are angry, right? Look at there. I'm still scrolling. Angry ones. But we're going to go ahead and take a peek at this one here because I'm curious.
At Sonobello Montgomery.
I'm curious on that one there. All right. See, Karanya said, Lord, I'm falling asleep and my thumb is on the comment. Just delete it. Apologize. It's all good. I don't even know why I am still up here. I shouldn't have had this coffee because I'm still kind of worked up, y'all. So I'm going to do like these 2 little quickie videos. Now I'm going to let y'all go. Go to get you some sleep. Don't, yeah, I'm on one. All right. We stop here. Here we go. All right. This is transgender city councilwoman confronts Aberdeen store owner over controversial sign. All right.
25 years, Don Suker has been known as the wacky owner of the Star Wars memorabilia store here in Aberdeen. But a transgender councilwoman says he's a bigot who went to the dark side on her.
You are nuts. You're not a woman. You don't look like a woman. You don't act like a woman.
The confrontation started inside.
Trans women are women.
What?
Trans women are women.
And spilled into the street.
You are not a chick.
Aberdeen Councilwoman Tiesa Meskis confronted owner Don Suker about a sign he posted in his store saying, if you are born with a slang for a male body part, you are not a chick.
What he wrote there was so demeaning and so dismissive of who I am and who any...
What? He said who I am, right? He's only concerned about himself. That's what I'm saying. Why are they allowed to be entitled that everybody's got to respect what they're thinking and what they're feeling? This man been a store owner for, they said, 5 years. He's got his store. And you, one person, entitled on your feelings.
Trans woman is.
Meskis, a trans woman, says she knows Sucre has the right to say what he wants.
You're nuts. You need to back off now. No, you do.
But she wanted to tell him to his face it was hurtful.
I would really like them to open their eyes and their heart and see that,
Open their eyes and see that there is an XY chromosome standing in front of me. What are you talking about? So in order for you to be okay, you've got to have everybody change their mind and what they're seeing. Who are you?
We are people. We are who we are.
And black people been hollering for hundreds of years that we people too.
And all we want to be is accepted in our community.
And I don't care what they do,
Thank you.
but don't come in here and complain to me about stuff. I have free speech.
Sucre says anyone
He's right. He's right. You want him to change his whole store because of your feelings? The people that don't like his store don't go in there. It's a novelty store.
Anyone who disagrees with him does not need to spend money at his store,
Thank
where that
you.
sign was still visible today.
And everybody's loved it. Everybody's taking pictures of it. Everybody laughs.
Not everybody loved it as we saw it.
Well, yeah.
And some people think it's hurtful.
Well,
He told us that this hurt.
but here's the thing. I don't give about feelings anymore. I'm 70.
Come on, Pops, tell him.
8. I went to Vietnam to fight for all this.
Thank you.
Do you think I care about some feelings? Absolutely not.
Supporters of the councilwoman are planning a protest out in front of the store Saturday morning.
Why does this man deserve to have his store protested? Why? Why?
At 10, Don Sucre says he is calling on some of his backers for a show of support at the same time. In Aberdeen, Drew.
And who's going to support him? Because everybody's scared of these T people. It's scared of the T people. Okay, everybody's falling asleep. But I guess maybe the new people up in here, y'all still up in here. Let's see, Sharon says, I feel everyone involved should be held responsible. Yep, because if they did something over here, if you in the group and 5 of y'all went to go rob a convenience store and somebody, the trigger person, smoked the clerk, everybody's going to get that murder beat. Everybody getting that. Y'all sharing it, right? They were all there. So they are all guilty. And they all lied. They are all guilty and deserve to get all share it. Those who tried to cover it up is just as guilty as the Cabo 6 to me. How much justice is that? Exactly. I agree. And Kyrian says, please repost your comment and forgive me. Charge it to my sleep. Yeah, you good. I probably missed it. I'm way behind. I'm looking for M&Ms, members and money. All right. Thank y'all so much. It's here. Shirley says, good night. Oh, a little bit. I will have to hold my eyelids open with toothpicks. I'll catch you on the next talk. Yeah, I thank y'all so much. And I'm good too. I think I hit everything that I said on all the videos I said. Yep, I did both of them. All right, so these little ones here were just some extra ones there. So I'll just read these last few comments and then I'm going to kiss y'all good night. Sharon says, it's really funny how they expect up to be stupid and can't see through the manipulation and lies. Yeah. Yep. And I guess they feel that they come by and really intimidate us with it and stuff, or start, accusing us and shaming us and all that stuff. I can't believe that you would say this kind of stuff as a nurse. You know, people, I mean, I've been getting a lot of crap for this, taking a lot of heat. Like I'm saying this stuff. Let's see here. Good night, all. All right. Good night, y'all. Love y'all and see y'all. I guess later today, maybe. Aranya said, ridiculous. It's getting crazier out here by the day. I bet you the Mexican authorities told the U.S. that was a man. Yeah. In the beginning, y'all go back to November. They called it a man. And it wasn't until the U.S. people, they probably was the ones saying, hey, look, these transgender people over here got rights. Can't say that. So that's when they took it. They started walking it back and saying, oh, it was because, there was a wig and that's how it went. We don't see people with wigs on over here. And so, totally. And that's why we thought it was a man because, kept taking the wig on and off and, just minds was blown. And, that's how it was. That's how it was. Night, night. All right. That's it here. That's it. And great live again. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. And thank you for coming. And thank you again for your super chat. Really appreciate it. Good night and good morning. That's right. It is morning time. All right. Night, night, y'all. See y'all later. See night. Sweet dreams to everyone. That's right. Good, good, good. All right. Thank y'all so much. And see y'all later. Peace and love.